left last weekend after 2 motos. The United States were leading with 7 points ahead of Great Britain on 17, France and Sweden on 18, also Belgium well placed on 20. With me, Jeff Leeskin. Jeff, anything could happen in this final moto this afternoon?
It certainly can. You know, the Belgians are looking quite strong still, but the Americans obviously are the favourites. But you know, there's a lot of riders in there that could spoil the chances. So you know, I think it's going to be an exciting finish.
Well, before we pick up that exciting finish, let's recap and see what did happen in the first 2 motos last weekend. An impressive sight, 32 riders, and away they go.
Looks to be Jean-Michel Bayle, number 61 from France, in the lead on the 500cc machine.
And in the practice round, he's scorched around the track in the fastest time there, number 61 in front. Just a tick under 2 minutes and 8 seconds for the lap. He blitzed the field, and there he is, the 23-year-old from France, Jean-Michel Bayle.
Jean-Michel's got to be feeling very comfortable about this in the lead. Doesn't have to follow the rooster tails of the other bikes, so he's looking...
Second place, number 13 there, is Kurt Nickel. Also on a 500cc bike representing Great Britain, but Bayle at the moment opening up a handy little, probably 15 to 20 metre lead.
Yes, I think Jean-Michel's going to want to go fairly hard in the first few laps, try to establish a break over the other riders, just in case he has a problem with a fall or the lap rider later in the race. So I think he's going to go quite hard here in the opening laps.
Kurt Nickel keeping in contact, but there he is, the Frenchman, riding his last motocross event. Next year, he's going onto the road to race 250cc class. So the last time the international motocross public will see Jean-Michel Bayle on the sand. Now, Emig here. Jeff Emig, a Yamaha 125 rider, and he's way up in the leading bunch. And he's doing a great job on the point score here for America in the first moto.
Yeah, Jeff Emig's really got that Yamaha 125 flying. There was a bit of doubt over the performance of the Yamaha machine, but he's really got it on the gas today.
This Cozy Creek circuit, Jeff, how much does horsepower play a part?
It's a pretty major role here. It's a very sandy circuit in the area with the uphills, and it really saps the power of the machine.
So Jeff Emig performing very creditably, taking that into mind.
Yes, Jeff Emig is leading the one portion of the race and going extremely well. He's got probably half the 500 field behind him, and he's on a bike that's half the capacity, so he's going very, very well.
Now there's Kurt Nickel. Kurt Nickel now is still charging up on Jean-Michel Bayle. And in fact, Kurt Nickel is just in front there of Stefan Everts. No, it's Billy Lyles in actual fact, from the United States. Lyles on the 500cc Honda. And a great dice here. This would be second versus third. And at the moment, it's the British rider, Kurt Nickel, who's out in front.
Lyles trying every trick in the book to get around Kurt Nickel. You can see that he's riding opposite lines on the track. That's to avoid the rooster tail.
They also lie second and third in the 500cc World Championship for 1992. So they beat each other at close quarters throughout the year. And here they're almost shoulder to shoulder. As Jeff mentioned, they take different lines. Lyles went low there, and he's got through.
This is a really backwards and forwards fight here. You can see, notice the two riders riding lines on the circuit. Lyles just clearing the vision on his goggles. He's been following Nickel, and there's been a lot of dirt flying up into his face, so he's trying to take this opportunity now that he's got by, clear his vision, and then try and maintain a lead over Kurt Nickel.
Billy Lyles now second spot. So a great start for the United States, looking for their 12th successive Motocross de Nations title, because Jeff Emig is leading the 125cc and Billy Lyles currently second on the big bikes, the 500s. Now Stefan Everts there we saw a glance of, number 6. He is on the 125 Suzuki. And there is Jeff Emig, also on the 125. 20 through there was Jason Marshall, the Australian. He's riding on the 500cc class. There's Emig. And there is Everts. Gee, it's close here, Jeff. 1 and 2 for the 125cc.
Yes, I think Stefan Everts has put on an incredible charge. He was quite far back early and has really made some ground up on Emig. Stefan Everts is on the Suzuki machine, and it's a very powerful 125 bike. It's noted as one of the top machines in its class. He's done a superb ride up through the field, through all the other 500cc machines, and now he's on the tail of Jeff Emig, number 3 on the Yamaha.
And there he is, Jean-Michel Bayle, heading towards the top of the course, number 61. And still, he has a very commanding overall in this race. A great rider, 23 years of age, already a dual world champion. In 89 on the 250s, in 1988 on the 125. And you probably don't like to be reminded, Jeff, but in Motocross de Nations in 1988, he rode 85 and actually blitzed the field and beat you amongst a lot of other riders who are on the big 500s.
Yes, unfortunately, I have to say that's correct. It was actually on the last turn of the last lap in the French Motocross des Nations. And Jean-Michel, very capable of what size machine he's riding.
So Jean-Michel Bayle, 28 minutes into this race, keeping in mind that when he crosses the line, after the 30 minutes, there are 2 more laps to ride. So Jean-Michel Bayle, way out in front at the moment and doing a great job for France. And there is Kurt Nickel from Great Britain. He is lying second at the moment on the KTM 500 machine. It's set a long, long way adrift of Jean-Michel Bayle.
You can see some of the mechanics there with the pit boards. Kurt Nickel again weaving his through the lapped riders.
There's Kurt Nickel, lying second overall in this event.
Yes, Jean-Michel's been concentrating primarily on the American circuit over the past few years. He hasn't been an included rider in the French team.
And there we see Bayle is well out in front. What a magnificent performance. We'll find out later how his teammate in this particular event has gone. The Frenchman riding on the 125cc, Cedric Bolley on a Yamaha. But certainly they're going to get top points in the 500cc class in the opening moto. He's eased right back, Jean-Michel Bayle. Look at him, he's almost in slow motion. But he knows he's got this one in the bag.
Jean-Michel's just taking it very smooth and easy here. There's nothing to risk now. He's got a good lead. No pressure whatsoever.
I suppose by having a measured last 2 laps, it saves the problem of perhaps clipping the back wheel of a back marker or being taken into a bad line and having a fall that you certainly don't need in the dying stages.
That's right, Glenn. Also, I think Jean-Michel, the way he's been, is quite used to this front position.
There he is, number 61. Look at that number plate. You can tell that he hasn't had riders in front of him almost from the outset. In fact, we saw him get a great jump. Magnificent start in that 32 to kick off the opening moto, and he's led from go to woe. And here he comes now, greeted by the checkered flag. So Jean-Michel Bayle winning the 500cc class in the opening moto.
There's Jeff Emig from the United States, first place on the 125cc machine.
And isn't he happy?